343 out here. I was running some RCs with my son. He's running his Slash. What's up? And I'm running the SBR 2.0. Anyway, he wants to drive his Slash and run out there for like a little bit, and I'll let him film me next. So go ahead.
Okay.
Let me set my radio down. Nice. You want to do some controlled drifting around the oval?
Yeah.
Alright. Washing out a little bit.
No, I'm just doing it.
Oh. Is that full throttle or? Oh no, that's full throttle. Yeah, you've been running on that for a while. I'm surprised it hasn't gone into low voltage yet. Don't go too far in there, you're gonna get stuck.
Has it got stuck in
Yeah.
the bushes already?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Donuts for days.
Donuts. Donuts. Oh, donuts. Uh-oh. Watch out for them surprise boulders. They're more like boulders for these things.
I went into the grass. How can I not stand? Stop. Yeah.
Oh, careful. Oh. Is that like full throttle? Oh. Yeah, it's getting ready to dump. Yeah, don't like do it way out there, otherwise you're gonna have to retrieve it. Yeah. Remember what I told you about like the throttle control, how like yeah, it controls your radius. So if you if you're turning and you want a wider radius, you can give more throttle. If you want to tighten up your radius, let out the trigger. And then obviously if you want to do even more control beyond that, then yeah, there you go. Then you very nice. Yeah, like some more recent things that I've done to my cars. Obviously, I have like the Vidifon Ally wheels now, and it's got like quite a bit more battle damage scars and whatnot, like on the outside, paint that I put on the what is the King Shock body. I don't know, I just wanted it to look a little bit different and put on my own stickers, but eventually I'll get one of the clear bodies for this and then come up with my own livery for it. So but I'll let my son continue running. I just was showing you like some of the other stuff that and then like go ahead, Ty, keep going, I'll film you. Like the other thing I did was I wanted to run yeah, go get it. I wanted to run like thicker diff fluid in the rear axle, the solid, the live axle, and so I put one of the metal diff cups in there, and then increase the oil weight to like the 500,000. Um, you know, I actually did run it in grass and stuff before, and on road on the sidewalk. It it's sliding and letting the rear tires slip pretty good where it'll just like rotate. And I mean, I suppose you could lock up like the rear even more than that, but like the 500 is fine. I like it to be a little bit more point and shoot, and it gives me enough diff action. The other thing I did was when changing the wheels, I taped my wheels. I switched my rears. I rotated the spares onto my rears, so those are fresh wheels. And then I put my freshest of the four that I ran up front, and I'm using my most worn tires as like spares, and they're still on the original plastic wheels. What I the those ones, those are the only ones that I had taped the holes on, especially um, running out in this kind of environment. I found, in just the few runs that I've done out here, I had so much gravel, sand, and grit, and like whatever else, like stuffed into like these wheels. The two tires that I have here as spares now are no longer functional because of like the amount of like stuff that was like in there. Remember, like I said, these were tires I used to be running, but yeah, there was just so much stuff in there, and as you all know, like the dirt and stuff is forced in through those vent holes in the wheels, and the centrifugal force of like the wheels spinning actually like caused all the grit to try to force its way through the rims, because I found a lot of it on like the tire side of like the on the inside, and several holes and rips punched through the foams. Luckily, the other foam wasn't like too damaged. It did have like a lot of like dirt in there, but it wasn't thrown through the foams as like bad. I'm assuming the ones that like the ones that I'm using as spares now that are damaged, I'm assuming those were the originally were the front tires, because you know how like when it diffs out they spin at a higher RPM and like really expand. No, not quite, but yeah, they expand. So I'm assuming those are the ones that took like the brunt of the damage. Because the other foams weren't as bad, and obviously the ones that I had as spares were brand new. So now those are the ones that I'm running on the rears. The fronts were the least damaged ones and the freshest tires that I had. Like I said, this time around I taped my wheels so they don't expand as before. I haven't vented the wheels yet. I will, but these wheel rims aren't vented, so it's like not letting anything in there. So like once I vent like the outside of the tires, the tires will be able to like they'll vent and conform properly the way they're supposed to, or they'll behave the way they're supposed to. But like I won't have to like worry about like all that stuff getting inside anymore. But like what I was saying, on these spare wheels, these were the ones that originally were on the fronts, and um, after after I noticed all that dirt got in there, I taped those up, and I ran them for a little bit, like I put like that breathable mesh that from like one of those chassis covers. I cut like pieces out of failed one of mine, like the zippers broke on there, so I just kind of cut it up. I like make little squares of those and like fix them on the inside of the wheel to close up the vent holes, so it would still let air in, but like nothing else. Um, if I was running it through water, then I definitely would want to completely seal it up. But as I just mostly run it in dry areas like this. I just kind of want to keep the gravel and sand out. So just the mesh film.
I think
It's not dumping yet. It's still going. Oh, maybe now it might be. Um, but yeah, I just kind of ran like the little mesh screens, put those over the vent holes, and that sealed them up pretty well. I wasn't getting any more debris in there, and so they're just basically on there for looks now, the spares, because those foams inside these two particular tires are trashed. It's like they just won't function anymore. So eventually but since they're on like different wheels, I might not ever like take those off anymore. Yeah, did you unplug the battery? Well, take it over to the car.
okay.
Take it over to the car. Unplug the battery before you shut off your radio. Then you can come over here and film for me. I'll open that in a second so you could put it in the back. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much all there is. Maybe I'll let my son get like a few shots for me. I'm not running on 8S anymore. I finished those packs off. I already went into low voltage, so like all I have left now is just my 6S pack. And like I've explained before, I run 6S in a truck this size because when I'm playing with my kids, it operates closer to like the speed of like their vehicles and stuff like that. So I'm gonna like stop it here, and then I'll be back when my son films for me.